Hi, I'm Mike Sullivan. Welcome to Guitar Tech, how to do it yourself. Hi, Gospel Guitarist here. Welcome to my new project. Yesterday I made a video where I was talking about the changes being made to this Schecter C1 E. Yesterday I had the pickups on it to see what they'd look like and if I really wanted to do it, and I thought they looked okay, so I'm going ahead and torn her apart again. As you can see, it's a snake pit in there. Down inside there is the that's a ghost. It's not a Gast. It's a ghost preamp system that wires up to all of these. They're actually individual acoustic pickups controlled by the switch that's just off camera view right there. So you can run it with the mags or just the piezo alone or both. So anyway, that's what the torn up guitar looks like now. Over here, what I want to talk about today is the Triple Shot pickup ring, not the pickup. These are Seymour Duncan Jazz and SH4 JB here for the bridge pickup. And even though they have the thinner, ring on them, they don't look bad. I thought maybe if they weren't as thick and tall as the original rings, it wouldn't look as good. You'd see too much of the pickup and it'd look all fat and everything. But I don't like my pickups extremely close to the strings, so I have them set back usually about almost 1/4 of an inch, and that's all you see of the pickup on the top. So it's really not bad looking. It's not a direct replacement. These are longer rings, so I need to do a little bit of adjustments so that when I tighten them up, these won't bow out, because they were bowing out a little bit. I've read reports where these are like rubbery, cheap plastic. They're not. They're just like any other pickup ring as far as the material. If you're installing these and they start to bow on you, it's because they're actually longer than the originals, because they look very close when I put them in the guitar, but once I tighten them down, I started to get this bow action going on. So that means the holes are closer, and it's, as you tighten it down, it squeezes it. So I need to elongate the holes a little bit so I have a little bit of play there, and then they won't do that. What I did at first was, they come with some tape on the back of the circuit board, so you can stick it to the bottom of the pickup. The problem I had, that I noticed right away, was there's wax on the bottom of the pickup. They seem to stick for a minute or two, and then they break loose, and then you can't do anything with them. So I wound up super gluing them on, and that worked just fine. So if you do have some wax, and you can even, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but Seymour Duncans, they're, of course, any expensive pickups are going to be dunked in wax. So you might want to scrape the wax off before you tape these on. That's what they look like. They have wiring for the white, green, black, and red, and then there's a ground. And when you get it, these two wires are pushed over that ground, so you might miss it. So fold those back, it's right there. And what you do is you take the pickup wires, and they're color coded as well, and they match these codes here. So when you go to solder them, you want to fan these out. Pre-tinning them is a little difficult because the plastic melts so quickly on these wires. So I found that out really fast on the last job there. I barely touched it, and they just melt so quick. So if you can get these in the order you need them and positioned so that they won't wrestle you when you go to solder these in place, it's a very quick and easy procedure to do. This shiny area here where you're soldering to, the solder wants to stay there. So when you do go to solder them, this is what it'll look like all soldered up. And if you can get a good look there. So get a good glump of solder on each one of these. It won't want to spill over as long as you're careful. I had no problem with that at all. The solder just danced right where it needed to be, and it was very quick and very easy to do. Then I bundled up the cable that's from the pickup itself and just locked it up like that, so it won't wrestle me when I go to put it away. The board then comes with a 2-conductor cable with a ground wire. So you got a black and a bare wire, which are typically ground, and then you got a white wire, which is your pickup hot now. So all the pickup switching is done right here with these two double pull, double throw switches. So when they're both of them are squeezed towards the screw, you're in a normal operating mode. When you push them away from the screw so that they're facing this way, you're in parallel mode. If you push both of them this way, you're cutting this coil. If you push them both the other way, you're cutting this coil. Now you can reverse it, the wiring, so that the color codes are not going to match up, just like I did on mine. There's another way that you can wire these where you reverse the green and white and the red and black, so that when you do the single coil splitting, you actually move them towards the one that's on. The way you typically wire it right out of the box, standard wiring means whichever way you turn them is the one you cut. So however your brain wants to work with that, you can wire it. And then of course with the black and white, the black and white being, the black is ground and the white is hot. If you wire these to a switch using the black and white, then you can actually hook them to a switch and have phase reversing. So that when you have the pickup selector in the middle and you're using both of your pickups, you can throw a switch and throw one of the pickups out of phase. And so that'll give you yet another sound. So I'm not so much into the phase reversal thing myself, but I'm pulling off the switch that I had for coil tap and putting back in the original tone control. So, because I have all that available here now. So that'll simplify that and give me more options. But anyway, that's a quick overview and review and install of a Seymour Duncan Triple Shot pickup ring. Kind of simplifies things. I like them. I'll see how they work out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the end of this little project. She's all back together and she works. And amazingly, so many wires in this thing. I'm going to nickname this guitar the Snake Pit. Definitely is a snake pit in there. I just wanted to show a little bit about how these rings look on this guitar, because they're not high or real tall sided rings like the originals that come on either the Les Pauls or this type of guitar here. They don't look bad even though they're not full sized. As far as the height of them, you can see more chrome on this guy here. The front, it's pretty much the same on most guitars. You know, these will be a nice replacement for that. These, it would be nice if they made them so that they were a little bit taller like the originals, but they don't look bad at all. I was really kind of worried about them not looking right. So there we have it, the completed project. I thought about doing a tone, I don't know, tone review, but the differences in all of the different tones, you're just not going to really hear that on a YouTube video, okay? So many people try that and you just never can hear anything different, and I'm not even going to waste time doing that. If you install these rings on your guitar and you switch from coil to coil, I didn't think I would hear much of a difference, but there really is it's a subtle difference, but it's different. And on mine it's accentuated because I actually adjust my pole pieces so that I can EQ the pickup the way I want it to sound. And on this guitar they're curved, so they mimic the actual radius of the neck, so that the string outputs are matched. You can give it more bass, more treble, however you want to do that. So there's a bigger difference when I go from using this coil to using the inside coils, either on either pickup. It's really dramatic on the bridge pickup when I use only this one versus the one without the magnetic pole pieces showing. Because this is like a fixed EQ, it's just flat, and you're going to notice the difference between the two. You may not notice much difference if you don't do this with your guitars, but I always tend to experiment with the pole pieces lately to get a better sound. It's a more even sound without over EQing everything on the amp and effects and all that kind of thing. So anyway, there's their look at what they look like, and they look really nice. You can get these in cream also. And so this is the update on the C1 EA. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. See you later. Well, thanks for watching, and see you next time on Guitar Tech, how to do it yourself.